So I wanted to ask you something. We can all sit down. So this Ipsos poll got me. I was talking to the audience about it before. One, we have our moment that defines the state of play. Dusty, put the video that Trump did today. This was clever, okay? Biden said what he said about the garbage is the followers or the garbage is what they're saying. Whatever he says, he said. Trump shows up at a campaign stop and gets picked up by a garbage truck. Bill O'Reilly tells me this. I said, was he in the front or the back? He didn't think it was funny. So that is the state of play. I see this Ipsos poll. 81% of the people, no matter what party, say we're more divided than united. But at the same time, 70% say we all want the same things. Bill O'Reilly, explain that disconnect.
Well, I think everybody wants a nice life and a pursuit of happiness and opportunities, so that's accurate. We are a divided country of second most divided era ever. The Civil War is first. We passed Vietnam. Vietnam was a very divided nation, but it was a one-issue division, a war. Now we have a cultural division. That's what the situation is. So you got two candidates, and I don't really believe it's about Harris versus Trump. I believe it's about progressive values, Harris, tradition, Trump. And that's what people are going to vote on, except for their wallet. The wallet is going to mean that Harris next Tuesday goes in with a deficit because it's so much more expensive 4 years later to live the essentials of life. And you can throw stats out all day long, but folks know what they're paying, and they don't like it. That's going to work against Harris.
And it is the top issue in every measurement that we've seen, both parties. Stephen A., how you see it?
The economy is always an issue. There is no getting around that. I think reproductive rights is going to play a huge factor. Consider the fact that women are 53% of the electorate, and she is deemed as being favorable towards women. I think that the overturning of Roe v. Wade on a federal level is something that could potentially come back to bite Donald Trump. Whether or not that's going to happen or not, we'll find out soon enough. But I also think it's important to bring this up, and there's no way around this. There is a white issue, and here's what I mean by that. White folks in America now make up 57.4% of the population, if I remember correctly. It's the lowest it has been practically ever. When you have a former president that was speaking about immigration, closing our borders, not letting people in illegally, and alluding, if not flat out saying that to some degree they're costing you. You have to remember that if you once considered yourself a very powerful entity, and you believe that that power is dissipating before your very eyes, and somebody comes along and they're literally to transfix your attention on that is the issue, and that is the reason why, it not only builds fear, it builds grievance. And we all know that when people go to the polls, the first thing that serves as a motivational factor is grievance. Whatever disgusts you most is one of the things that inspires you to go to the polls because you want to do something about it. That's what this comes down to. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not omitting anything else. I'm just saying that's a very factor. And when I say, just to be clear, when I say race, I'm not talking black and white. I'm talking about the white populace in the United States of America once being in a far more loftier position than they're perceived as being in now. And folks, inevitably, I don't care who you are, if you're in a powerful position and ultimately that dissipates before your very eyes, you're going to look for somebody to blame. And Trump is an absolute master at highlighting for you.
But he's not just talking to white people about that. He's talking to black people about that and Latino about that and saying, if you are struggling, there's somebody who wants you rung on the ladder. And they're coming in illegally.
I'm not trying to imply that he's only talking to one audience. I'm just talking about the most prolific audience in that regard.
The biggest audience.
Biggest.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.